All right, welcome to Sharpshooting with Shuan Ellis, where the ball never stops bouncing. We're talking hoops, hustle, and everything in between, breaking down the games as they happen on the court. With our first segment of the night, we have live at 7, and it was fairly live at 7 with the first game of the night. We had Light Work versus Hollywood, which ended in 86 to 81, going for Light Work. It was had the potential to be the matchup of the night. Hollywood was definitely trying to get back on the good foot after starting out fast, but the better teams they have played, unfortunately, it hasn't gone well for them as they lost three close games against all of the good teams or the quote unquote elite teams. But well played game by both teams, led by Suge, who had again 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists, continuing on his MVP level season. Alex also is getting his feet wet as he had 16 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Scooter had another dominant performance where he had 24 points, 1 rebound, and 6 assists. And Emery with a maybe the best shooting game of the year. Well, now I'm still getting Ariel the best shooting game of the year, but definitely Emery with one of the best shooting games of the year with 28 points, his Cypress season high, and with 9 made threes. He went 9 for 19 from three. So he shot like 48% from the three, which is outstanding. Hollywood just can't beat a good team right now. Well, they can't beat none of the elite teams. They can be good teams, but they can't be any of the elite teams right now. So that kind of takes them from being a contender to right now a pretender, as they say. All right, now we have a Crunch All Stars versus the Free Agents. The Crunch, even though they don't have the best record, they may be the hottest team in the league right now with the style of play that they're playing at. They won 82 to 63 over the Free Agents. Game was never really in question. Just a well played game by Crunch. They're not letting up right now. Now winning, was it 4 in a row right now? Taking their record 2-4-2. But they only shot 41% from the field. Now, they shot outstanding, especially from three against Who's Your Daddy. But they only shot 41% from the field. But they play with a lot of tenacity, play great defense, and forced 17 turnovers, which is why Free Agents only had 63 points. And they scored a lot of points off their turnovers. The guy was having a really solid season. It's kind of getting overlooked right now. My guy Steve's Jordan. He had 28 points. He kind of led the way for them in scoring and so many different assets. Like I said, he's been their leader, their vocal leader of the team, and he's just getting guys in the right spots. But again, we all known him for when he played with Lightwork seasons ago, and he could shoot that thing. He could really shoot the ball, and he shot it really, really, really well. And like I said, he led them with 28 points. Greg and Cam both had 17 points. Greg had an unfortunate 6 of those 17 turnovers, which didn't help that team as they took that L. But like I said, Crunch may be the hottest team right now, and they're getting hot at the right time. When you look at what they're doing against who they're doing it against, they're going to be a scary matchup in the playoffs. I would not want to see them in the first round. They could end up being in one of them, that 4 or 5 range. And could you imagine being a 4 or 5 seed having to play them? Ugh. Okay, so moving on. Speaking of hot teams, Cellulose. Cellulose took that one loss and haven't looked back since. They really have figured it out. They really kind of trimmed the fat on the team, and they kind of put a team together right now that's kind of really doing things on all cylinders. Just another dominant performance from start to finish. Beat the heck out of the Phenoms. Probably the roughest. I want to say they won by 39 points. Might be the biggest marginal victory this season. Majority of games have always kind of stayed within 10 points this season, but not this one. They shot 55% from the field, 41% from three, which is insane. 20 made 23s. They made 23s and they shot 41% from the field, from three, while shooting 55% from the field. Khalid Mateen, 42 points. Dominant performance, 42 points, 8 rebounds. Very dominant performance. But it's not the fact that his performance is dominant, because we knew that he can kind of get downhill and get to the basket. He shot the ball really, really well, which kind of made him his performance that much dominant. But here's the thing, the other thing about this. My guy Brian Bach, also with a huge game, 30 points and 17 rebounds. Sick. So you got a guy that had 42 and 8. Then you get his partner scored 30 and 17. And then, oh yeah, we forgot. They got Mitch too. Money making Mitch, the closer. He also had 29 points and 10 rebounds. So between them, they had about 45 rebounds and almost 100 points. No, actually, they did have 100, but they had 101 points between them. I mean, that's pretty sick, man. 101 points, 101 points and 47 rebounds. It's ridiculous between three guys. Oh yeah, not to mention Eric didn't play. So if Eric plays, oh my God, who knows what this game tally turns into? So again, 29 and 10 from Mitch, 30 and 17 from Brian Bach, and 42 and 8 from Khalik. Absolute monster. I put it like this: if those three play that well against anybody, they will beat any team in this league. Count on it. Again, if they play that well, including Eric, and they're that efficient against anybody, they will beat every team in this league. You can count it. Now, as I'm kind of on the silly this train right now, I do want to give a shout out to Phenoms. Chris York, who had his best game here in Cyprus, he had 20 points and 6 rebounds. But I mean, they got to get more out of Nate, DeAndre, and Eric if they're going to be competitive. I think Eric only had 4 points and only a few rebounds. DeAndre had one of his worst shooting games of the season. I think Nate had his worst shooting game of the season. So you got to get more out of those guys if you're going to compete that particular team. All right, now last game of the night we had Mo and Friends. Man, Mo and Friends, look, they've had three tough losses these last 3 weeks against three very quality teams. And now going to next week, they got another game against another quality team, which is just not getting any easier for them. But they 90 to 87 to Who's Your Daddy. Made probably the game of the night, went all the way down to the wire, went into overtime. Again, I say Who's Your Daddy plays with their food. I can't call this a game where they're playing with their food. Kind of, sort of, but not really. Mo and Friends just played well. Like I said, Cam gave them everything that he could, man. Cam Barnes had 48 points. If he left anything on the plate, if he left a little meat on the plate, I had to say the last possession in regulation. It's a tie game. I think Mo threw him an outlet pass. He's one on one with Marcus, and then probably taking the ball to Marcus' chest and maybe trying to maybe even draw a foul or just try to finish a little like close to the rim. He ends up picking up his dribble and I think taking a bad fadeaway shot or a tough fadeaway shot. And at the end of the day, he might have just been tired. I mean, the dude was working his butt off. He had 48 points. He had his career high here at Cyprus, but it was a shot. I feel like he could have got a better shot. I think he's a good enough player to probably get a better shot in that moment. But speaking of moments, you gave Who's Your Daddy life. They go into the overtime, and we don't call ET the X factor. He's not the X factor. He is the factor. He's the guy. He only has one loss in all of his seasons playing here at Cyprus. One loss, and he made a big deal when he came in the gym. See, when I don't play, look, they ended up losing because he didn't play last week when they took that L, and he played this weekend. Then when the game got close and they put the ball in his hands in the overtime, he closed the show. He closed them out, scored 5 quick points in overtime, and then it was pretty much over after that. It was nothing they could do about it. He ended up finishing the game with 32 points and 2 blocks. Ellis was extremely efficient. He's kind of like the forgotten star on this team. Like he kind of gets overlooked. But again, he had 21.6 rebounds and 2 steals. Again, a really efficient game. He does everything for them. A huge part of that team. Him and Zach, both of them kind of get overlooked, but they're kind of what they're kind of doing out there because you got Et Marcus really putting up buckets for him. Even Spriggins when he's there. Again, Hall did Hall type things. He had 24 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's a great game for most people, but you just kind of be like, oh, that's what he does. And then you kind of overlook it. And then Kozart also had a big game with 12 rebounds as well. So um, look, Who's Your Dad's right there, part of the elite. Like you have to beat them. You have not only you have to kill them. You have to take the steak and put it in their heart and mush it down. Okay, and that's how it is with them. You can't give them any life. Gave them more friends, gave them life, and when overtime, and ET just closed the door. He closed the door on them. So, but real play game by more and friends, but again, it's not going to get any easier for them. And that's what we're going to get into right now. As we get into, well, not yet. Let's get into our player of the week before I get into my picks for this upcoming week. Our player of the weeks. Well, our player of the week from the previous week, it goes to Ariel Mauricio. Huge game, 38.4 rebounds, 4 assists. We know what he did. He pretty much carried in that fourth quarter against Who's Your Daddy, carried them to that win. But like I say, huge game for him. So he gets the player of the week from week 5. Going to our week 6 player of the week. This was a tough week because you really could have gave it to anybody on that Cellular team as far as a nominee. But we're going to go with Khalik Mateen with 42 points, 8 rebounds. Cam Barnes with a monster game. And like I said, we never give love to guys on losing teams, but I couldn't help it this week. He had a monster game with 48 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. My guy Steez with Crunch All Stars, 28 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And my guy Shug or Rashawn with 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists. Guys, make sure you go out there and vote because we did have some monster games this week. But shout out to maybe some honorable mentioning Brian Balk with a 30 rebound, 17, 30 point, 17 rebound game. All right, so my picks for this week. Try to make this short and sweet. We got light work versus the free agents. I'm gonna go with light work on this one, 84-77. Two teams going in two different directions. No reason to believe that that's going to change any this week. Free agents are capable of pulling a pretty dramatic upset, and it'll probably be an even bigger upset than the one earlier this season with Crunch beating Hoosier Daddy, but I just don't see it happening. Two teams going in two different directions. You're just gonna have to need a big game from Johnny, Cam, and probably Greg, and I'm not sure if they're gonna all be able to do that at the same time. So I'm gonna go light work here, 84-77, improving their record to 6-0. We got my guys, the Crunch All Stars versus the Phenoms. Again, two teams going two different directions. I thought Phenoms had a little momentum after they got their first win, and they kind of came back to earth when they played Celtics last week, and now they're playing the hottest team in the league this week. I don't see that changing at all. Like I said, Crunch always plays the most impressive ball through the most consistent and impressive ball through 6 weeks. It will be a game. These teams actually match up really well together, so I actually think it's going to be a good game. But I just feel like they're just Crunch is just a little bit more locked in right now than Phenoms are. I do expect Phenoms to play well, but it could also be a long night if DeAndre and Nate do not play well. So I'm gonna go 86-80 here with Crunch. More Friends versus Cellulus. I'm gonna go Cellulus 89-80. Um, More Friends can't catch a break right now, man. They're probably playing the three teams with the three best records 3 weeks in a row. So they just can't get a catch a break. But with all that being said, if you want to be good, you gotta beat somebody, and you gotta beat somebody eventually. So I think if they feel like they're a playoff team, they feel like they're a contender, they're gonna have to beat one of these teams. So why not now? But I'm not picking them. So I'm definitely going to sell you. Let's hear 89-80. Again, that four-headed monster, Eric, Mateen, Bach, and Mitch. It's just a lot to deal with. I'm not sure. Even though I feel like One Friends have some guys that could match up with them, I'm just not. They're just not ready to probably take that on and be able to beat them yet. So again, Celtics 89-80 on that one. And last game of the night, Flash B Unit versus Hoosier Daddy. Hoosier Daddy can't play with their food. If they kind of prodding around, playing with their food, and kind of letting guys stick around, like I said, Flash B's coming off a win. They have a little bit more confidence, like I said, they had probably a couple weeks ago. They can lose this game. This could be a very scary game for Hoosier Daddy. So again, if you don't come in here, don't play with a certain level of urgency, play with a certain level just get up. It's gonna be a tough night for them. And I don't expect it though. I do expect Hoosier Daddy still to pull this one off. But again, they have to come ready to play, and at least play their B plus to A game going into this. All right. So that will be it for our week 7, episode 6. It's actually episode 6. Okay, they're coming along pretty quick now. Live from an undisclosed area. All right. I'm Shuan Ellis. We are out.